Welcome to February. I recognize this time can be a bit challenging with Valentine's Day. There's so much in your face about couples, connection, relationships, and romance, and grief can also arise at this time.
Yeah, you think about it around like Christmas and Thanksgiving because families are getting together and stuff. But why would you say Valentine's Day of all the holidays are is so emotionally charged for someone who's grieving?
If you are feeling more lonely than loved, there's nothing wrong with you, but that is grief speaking. I think Valentine's Day is more emotionally charged because there is so much emphasis on connection, relationships, and when we have experienced the death of a loved one, be it pet or human, that physical absence is highlighted when there's so much focus on connection.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times we're expected to let grief go. What does that actually mean? Let grief go, and for that matter, what doesn't it mean?
Letting go does not mean we stop loving. Letting go actually means letting go of guilt, letting go of the extreme pain that grief can cause. It means forming new or continuing bonds with our deceased loved ones, like, be it pet or human. It's forming a new relationship with them. So we let go of what used to be and we build a new relationship with them as we go forward. It gives us a chance to find other ways to express love.
I love that. I think that around holidays like Valentine's Day, it's really helpful to find a meaningful way to honor that loved one. What are some things that you would recommend?
There is no wrong way to honor a loved one on Valentine's Day or any holiday. You can make it your own. You can create your own rituals. You can do anything from light a candle in their name, be this pet or human. You can write letters to them. You can have a day of reflection or introspection, or you can choose to volunteer at a cause that was meaningful to your loved one. Or if you're honoring a pet, you can volunteer at a shelter or rescue or donate supplies. The biggest thing is don't do nothing. That sounds like a weird grammatical way to phrase that. But the worst thing you can do is nothing. So at least have a loose plan with the understanding that it's okay to wake up on Valentine's Day and change that plan.
Yeah, I love that because sometimes during holidays like Valentine's Day, grief can feel so much more intense. Why do you think that is?
Grief does not follow a calendar, but our bodies and hearts do hold memories and remember. I give the example that you might find yourself more irritated one day and don't know why. And then you look at the date on the calendar and realize, oh, this is the death date. This was our anniversary. It's their birthday, whatever it might be. And it's because we hold grief in our bodies. So those dates can definitely cause a grief surge or a heightened grief.
That makes sense. When it comes to pet loss, which I know you work with a lot of people who are going through the grief of a pet, I feel like it's often overlooked. Can you explain why it feels so badly when it's quote just a pet unquote?
Pet loss grief can feel almost worse than the death of a human in many respects, and that's actually very true. Pet loss grief is what we call a disenfranchised loss because it's a loss that many in society don't understand or cannot relate to. As you said, it is just a dog, you can get another one. It's a cat, go to the shelter, there's lots of them there to be adopted. But what people don't often think about is when that pet dies, our entire routine changes. Our our emotional support often goes away. Pets give us unconditional love and they see us at our best, at our worst, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They often are with us through milestones in our life, or they're with us through horrible, painful events in our life. And so when that pet is gone, that love and support is also gone. And it can be very hard to find the validation and the support that those grieving a pet need just because it is not as fully understood by most people.
Which is probably why you work with a lot of people going through that because you're really, really good at that. When should someone consider working with a grief counselor?
If you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, or your grief is interfering with your day to day functioning and you just can't get the things done that you'd like to get done, that's a good time to reach out for support. Grief is hard. It takes a lot of energy. It takes more energy than we think it could ever take. And we are not meant to walk this grief path alone. That's why we have grief and loss groups. That's why I recommend people reach out and seek individual support. You can have that person walk alongside you to help you find your purpose, your sense of peace, and figure out with you how you'd like to move forward. Therapy is not going to fix or take away your grief, but it will help you find a new way to coexist and carry your grief so it's less painful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that you strongly believe that if someone is in need, they should just reach out to someone they feel comfortable with. If they feel connected to you, how can they reach you? What's the best way to connect?
So I am in Colorado and I'm a licensed professional counselor in Colorado. I'm specifying that because the therapist that you choose to work with needs to be licensed in the state in which you reside.
Good to know.
So if you want to reach out to me and you're in Colorado, my information is, or the website is transitioningthroughchange.com. You can contact me there.